Ladies and gentlemen of our worldwide viewing audience, welcome to Phoenix, Arizona for RWL Sweet Revenge Hotter Than July. My name's Don Hickson, and it is going to be a 3-hour supercard. We've got the rosters and broadcast teams from both RWL Rage and Snarl in the building this evening, and it is going to be absolutely fiery.
How's everybody doing tonight? Myron Schimmelman here. I am telling you, this is going to be one of our best supercards this summer. One of the best of the Sweet Revenge Tour. Everybody, the general managers, the front office, and of course yours truly, have been working overtime trying to put together a spectacular card for tonight.
Howdy hi, Wally Cardell from Snarl, and just looking at the schedule for tonight's supercard is more than enough to get me excited about it all. Now, Hangman Tex Lynch is not here with us in the booth, as he's gonna be in the ring tonight in a 6-man tag team match, and that's just one of the many exciting matches set for tonight. Ladies Division, Legends Division, they're all here, and there's a good number of championship matches slated to happen to.
And we begin tonight with Ladies Division competition with Grace Fenwick of the UK Ladies set to lock it up one-on-one against Brenda Blair.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our WL Sweet Revenge, Hotter Than July. Our first match, one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, coming down the aisle from Sussex, England, representing the UK ladies, Grace Fenwick.
And you'd best believe wherever Tex Lynch is in the back, he's talking to whoever he's with about Christmas. Grace Fenwick, of course, we just saw her recently. And tonight she's going one-on-one against Brenda Blair of San Jose, California.
And here's a disturbing thought for you folks. We all know Grace Fenwick takes pleasure in inflicting pain on her opponents, but Brenda Blair in particular seems to be Grace Fenwick's favorite type. And so Brenda better be on her guard with this particularly nasty opponent.
But Tex is right. Right here, this part of the song definitely makes me think of Christmas.
Oh, Myron, honey. Please, don't start with that again.
Why? What'd I say?
And her opponent from San Jose, California, Brenda Blair.
Brenda's been back with us almost a year now, and she's getting really near to a possible championship match, probably by the end of the summer, especially if she wins this match with Grace Fenwick. As Johnny B points out, Grace has got a thing about brunettes. Don't even ask me why. Now if Brenda can keep Grace on the canvas, face down, face up, makes no difference. The key will be keeping Fenwick from being able to do any real damage. If Brenda can do that, match should be in the bag.
She better, because if Fenwick gets the upper hand for too long a time, she could be looking at possibly being hurt. Possibly badly enough to derail any future title hopes during this tour. And she can't afford that, as this is our final U.S. city on the tour, before heading up north to Canada for about a week.
I've just got to tell you, I love these outdoor stadiums. Look at the size of this crowd as we get ready to get this card underway. Referee Willie Johnson sounds the bell. The ladies move up. Brenda Blair opens up with a series of chops to Grace Fenwick, followed up with a one-arm suplex. Brenda Blair moves in, drives a knee into the back of the head of Grace Fenwick. Fenwick laid out as Brenda comes off the middle rope, drives an elbow into the back of the head, goes for the cover and hooks the leg right away. One. But nope. Only a near fall. Brenda Blair rounds up Grace Fenwick once more. Look at this, into a sleeper hold. Brenda Blair rushing things here. Whoa. A jawbreaker from Grace Fenwick. Fenwick locks up Brenda, whips her to the far corner, nails her with a clothesline, and down she goes. Here's a cover from Grace Fenwick. One, and barely just a one. Brenda Blair Catches a stomp to the midsection. Grace Fenwick opens up with a series of wrist clutch kicks, follows it up with a forearm to the head. And now a series of pummeling right hands, followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Brenda back up on her feet. Whoa, look at this, a Luthez press and a series of modern punches from Brenda Blair. Grace Fenwick rolls out, rolls back in for a reset. Brenda from behind with the rear waist lock whips her to the ropes. And whoa, what a spine buster. Brenda Blair firing on all cylinders tonight for sure. Brenda with a kick right to the face of Grace Fenwick. Fenwick in the far corner trying to struggle to a standing position. Swiftly slips out of the corner. Brenda Blair puts her right back in there. A chop to the throat. Goes behind, a hard shot to the back. Fenwick whipped to the ropes again. Blair ducks under. And a swing and a miss. And Grace Fenwick delivers a series of kicks to the leg of Brenda Blair. Up over the shoulder into a fireman's carry position. Head first into the turnbuckle. And now Grace Fenwick trying to turn things around. Trying to get the momentum back here. Now driving all of her weight into the chest of Brenda Blair. That is absolutely vicious. Drives both knees into the chest. And now Grace Fenwick really beginning to enjoy herself here. Here's a cover. One. But only a one. And barely just a one. A side eye to referee Willie Johnson from Grace Fenwick. A driving knee into the side of the head of Brenda Blair, which can't possibly be good. A kick to the back from Grace Fenwick. Brenda rolls to the outside. Grace Fenwick, my God, over the top rope. Turning herself into a human missile. Taking down Brenda Blair, doing a little bit of showboating for the fans in the front row here, who could not care less about Grace Fenwick. Grace rounds up Brenda Blair again and drives her into the ring steps. She caught just about all the corners on that one. Grace Fenwick rounds Brenda up again. They lock up. Brenda counters with some elbows to the gut. Backing off Grace Fenwick. Locks Grace up and drives her into the ring steps in retaliation. Brenda Blair gathers Grace Fenwick up again. Looks like she's going to try and get her back inside the ring, and yep, she sure does. Brenda Blair follows her on in. A kick to the midsection, a stunner. Whoa! Grace Fenwick laid out like a club fish, and Brenda Blair stalking her. This cannot possibly be good. Here's a rebound off the ropes. A rebound off the middle rope, and whoa! Took down Grace Fenwick hard. Brenda Blair covers. 1, 2. Well, now, Brenda Blair wrapping this one up pretty quickly. Let's get the official time.
The time of the fall, 3 minutes, 58 seconds, and your winner, Brenda Blair.
While Brenda Blair has impressed us before, I have got to say, wow, wrapping up Grace Fenwick in record time. And a really impressive matchup. Grace Fenwick didn't stand a chance in this one. Brenda Blair was all over her like ugly on a gorilla.
She's got to be happy with this win. One of her fastest matches ever, and I bet she's relieved to have put it behind her, without having taken too many lumps from Grace Fenwick. Just wow. I think it may have been her shortest match with anyone ever. If only she could keep doing it with other opponents. That title shot would be closer than she might expect. Awesome performance by Brenda tonight.
And we'll be right back. And look out! Dunk him with a chair. Struck him right across the back. Primetime Bobby Mills getting into the act too. Attacking both Snitsky and Ferrantino with steel chairs. This is absolutely insane. It's the Vandal brothers. Swanton J and Vicious Ace, and it looks like they're not going to allow Primetime Bobby Mills to leave the ring. And all the numbers game is guaranteed to get Primetime Bobby Mills. There's no way he's going to survive against the 666 pounds of combined weight of Swanton J and Vicious Ace.
He may never do anything ever again.
A moment for primetime Bobby Mills, the late John Lennon would have referred to as instant karma.
That was then, but this is now. And MJ Ferrantino pushed very hard for this next match, as the unholy trinity's pairing of primetime Bobby Mills and Big Bob Duncum may be receiving some corporal punishment at the hands of 1J and Vicious Ace, the Vandal Brothers.
Dutch Mantell and the Unholy Trinity certainly making themselves lightning rods of controversy, completely distracting MJ Ferrantino from his current obsession with Scott Bell and turning his fury towards the Unholy Trinity itself.
Don, they brought it all on themselves. This all started when they attacked Ferrantino and Snitsky with them chairs.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match, a tag team match, one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by manager Dirty Dutch Mantell at combined weight of 543 pounds, Big Bob Duncum and prime time Bobby Mills, the Unholy Trinity.
And you're not kidding about the obsessed part, Don. Ferrantino's making a wholesale vendetta out of the situation, and he's got a massive stable of very big, very mean, and potentially destructive people, all of them perfectly willing to trash anyone Ferrantino might point his finger at. I've got a feeling the Unholy Trinity is going to regret ever crossing on paths with Ferrantino's stable.
And MJ Ferrantino has pointed his finger at the Unholy Trinity and told the Vandal Brothers sick 'em.
Now you guys remember Ferrantino successfully signed American Powers recently. I think that might be part of the reason Ferrantino's stable works so well. These people, Sylvia Strong, yeah. Tag team champions all day long, champions all over the place. Train hard, work hard, earn hard. But I think Ferrantino's people might be just a little bit more loyal.
And it's the sort of loyalty you'd see in organized crime back in the late 20th century.
And their opponents, accompanied by manager Matthew James Ferrantino at a combined weight of 666 pounds, Wanton J. Vandal and Vicious Ace Vandal, the Vandal Brothers.
The Vandals have been around our WL a mighty long time, going as far back as 2014, when they were part of Boyd Bradford's Bradford Exchange, subsequently changing hands to Ferrantino, then briefly to the still suspended Playboy Gary Hart, then back to Ferrantino again, and ever since, it's been non-stop success, with Jay and Ace racking up an almost obscene amount of wins, and just doing incredible stuff, like competing into tag matches in one night, and winning both. Jay and Ace appear to have become top generals in Ferrantino's stable, and he's not afraid to use their destructive capabilities. They aren't called the Vandal Brothers for nothing.
They're what you might call anti-craftsmen. They take pride in the destruction of things and people.
They are most certainly iconoclasts.
Yeah, there's that too.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, as this one begins, it's going to be primetime Bobby Mills and Vicious Ace Vandal initiating contact here as Walt Rothburn sounds the bell. Ace Vandal, with primetime up over the shoulders, slams him face first into the canvas flapjack style. Ace rounds up primetime, a chop across the chest. A hard whip to the ropes for primetime, who quickly counters and gouge right to the eyes of Ace Vandal. Vandal counters with an elbow to the leg, and there's a belly-to-belly suplex for primetime Bobby Mills as Wanton J. Vandal steps in on the tag. MJ Ferrantino watching his team go to work here, and he's going to be very happy watching the Unholy Trinity get their punishment. J. Vandal rounds up primetime. Whoa, hard shot, but primetime counters with a right. Gets a hold of Jay. Tries to walk him towards his team's corner, but it's no good. A series of elbows backs Primetime off. Again, Primetime up in the over-the-shoulder position, hung up off the top rope, and down he goes. A stomp to the leg. Primetime trying to crawl his way out of town like a scalded dog, but it's no use. Oh, man, there's a leg snap. Jay Vandal rounds up Primetime. Bobby Mills again up over the shoulder. I think he's had quite enough of that one. Uses elbows to the side of the head to escape the hold. Now he's got an elbow right to the face of Jay Vandal. Jay Vandal whipped into the opposing team's corner, catches the clothesline, and goes right down to the mat. Primetime Bobby Mills gouging the face of wanton Jay Vandal. Whoa! A jumping neckbreaker. Followed up with a stomp to the midsection as Primetime Bobby Mills turns it over to Big Bob Duncum. Duncum rounds up. Oh, Jay counters with a forearm and a running close. Whoa! The clothesline did not even phase Big Bob Duncum. Here's a whip off the ropes and a counter from Duncum, an elbow from Jay Vandal, and a one-arm slam from Big Bob Duncum. Jay Vandal whips Duncum to his team's corner. Here comes Ace Vandal on the tag. Here comes a little double team from the Vandals. An air-assisted crossbody. Primetime Bobby Mills tries to intercede, but Walt Rothburn won't let him go. Here's a leg drop from Ace Vandal. A gouge of the eyes from Bobby Duncum. Duncum gets a hold of Ace Vandal. Takes him to his team's corner, but no good. Another series of elbows to the midsection for Big Bob Duncum. Duncum whipped to the opposing team's corner, and a vicious clothesline from vicious Ace Vandal. Duncum back up on his feet, gets a hold of Ace Vandal, whips him to his team corner. There's another clothesline, followed up with another stomp. Duncum relentless in whipping him into that corner. And here's a tag to Primetime Bobby Mills, and here comes a double team. A drop toe hold and an elbow across the back of the head to Ace Vandal. Dutch Mantell, you can already tell he's up to no good. He's going under the apron, and he's introduced a chair into the ring. Primetime Bobby Mills whips Ace to the corner. There's another clothesline. Down goes Ace Vandal. And whoa, look at this. A wild elbow to the chest from Primetime Bobby Mills. That chair just tantalizingly a few feet away, and he'll use it if he can get a chance. A jawbreaker, and down goes Ace Vandal right onto that chair. Big Bob Duncum brought in on the tag. Ace slides out of the ring, makes his way back inside, gets a hold of Bobby Duncum, whips him to his team's corner. Duncum, with a kick, escapes the corner. Jay Vandal, watching as Ace Vandal whips him into the corner again. Duncum with another elbow, a forearm. Ace Vandal once more whipped to the opposing team's corner, but quickly escapes. He's got a hold of Big Bob Duncum. There's a snapmare and a kick right to the back as wanton Jay Vandal is brought back in on the tag. Jay rounds him up, elbow to the midsection as the referee gets rid of that chair. There's an elbow that takes Jay Vandal down to the canvas. Jay Vandal winds up the arm and whoa, clothesline. Down goes Big Bob Duncum. Duncum with a shoulder tackle. Taking down Jay Vandal. Drags him towards his team's corner. And let's see what he's got in mind. He's tagging in Primetime Bobby Mills. Mills dragging Jay Vandal towards center ring. And now just picking him apart. Stomping every available inch of wanton Jay Vandal. Primetime Bobby Mills. Quickly countered with a gouge of the face and a clothesline that takes him down. Jay Vandal, obviously very irritated, takes a moment to salute the fans. Primetime counters with a clothesline. Bobby Mills making his way back to his team's corner, tags in Big Bob Duncum. An elbow to the face for Jay Vandal. He's got him up, slams him right back down. Michinoku driver. And look at this roll up here with a pin. 1, 2, oh, almost a 2. Bobby Duncum wasn't expecting that one. Whips Jay Vandal to the corner. Here's a clothesline one more time. Takes him down to the mat. Bobby Duncum pins one. And barely just a one. Big Bob Duncum gathers up. Jay Vandal throws him to the corner, but no good. A quick move out of the way. A kick to the midsection from Bobby Duncum. Jay Vandal puts on the brakes. Whips him to the ropes. They collide. And look at this. A DDT. Face first into the mat goes Big Bob Duncum. Wanton Jay Vandal whips him to the Vandal Brothers corner, and oh, here we go. Here's where some of that punishment comes in. Big Bob Duncum has been invited to a boot party as the guest of dishonor. Ace Vandal taking his turn. Here's a blind tag from Wanton Jay. He's going to take his turn too. Bobby Duncum going home with a series of Vandal Brother boot prints as a souvenir. And there's a whip and a drop kick. And out rolls Bobby Duncum out of the corner. Scrambling to get to safety, but it's no good. Too close to the ropes. Ace Vandal catches an elbow to the midsection. Quickly counters Bobby Duncum, swings and misses with a clothesline. A drop kick from Bobby Duncum takes him down. Ace rolls to the outside. Rolls back in. Gets a hold of Duncum. Here's a kick to the midsection. And whoa, here's a low blow. It's over.
At 12 minutes, 47 seconds, referee Walter Rothburn has disqualified Big Bob Duncum. Your winners by disqualification, the Vandal Brothers.
Bobby Duncum right in front of the referee with a low blow to Ace Vandal. And that ruins it for he and Primetime. And Suki, watch out here. Ace back up, and he and Jay are mad as hell. And it looks like match or no match. The Vandals are looking to disassemble Primetime and Duncum. The ref deciding this is none of his business, choosing to stay out of the matter as the Vandals start to unload on the two Bobbies, and ain't nobody gonna stop those two.
They can try, but I don't think it's going to work very well for very, very long.
Well, Duncum and Mills not going to lay down and die for the Vandal Brothers. They are retaliating. They are fighting back. But they are fighting a losing battle against very angry Vandal Brothers. Ace Vandal still feeling the effects of not one but two low blows at the hands of Bobby Duncum. There's a DDT to Ace Vandal. Primetime Bobby Mills takes down Wanton Jay Vandal. Both Vandal Brothers down. A leg sweep from Jay Vandal. Ace Vandal takes down Bobby Duncum, and my, how the tables turn so quickly.
Duncum using the low blow, that was a stupid thing to do.
For the moment, it seems to be an even fight as Duncum and Mills are holding their own against Jay and Ace, at least for the moment. The ref can ring that bell from now till doomsday, but none of these four are going to quit until they say the fight is done. Probably best thing for Rothburn to just stay out of it. Monitor things and just hope nobody gets hurt too badly.
Well, indeed, we have action in and out of the ring. Jay Vandal and Primetime on the inside, Ace Vandal and Bobby Duncum on the outside. A gouge of the face to Wanton Jay Vandal from Primetime. Bobby Mills looking like he's won this match, but they lost this match by disqualification, courtesy of Big Bob Duncum. Meanwhile, on the outside, Bobby Duncum with Ace Vandal, and Ace Vandal holding his own against Bobby Duncum. Here's a quick counter from Ace Vandal as Jay Vandal rounds up Primetime. Bobby Mills gets taken down with a leg sweep, and this one's just gone total chaos city.
There's gonna be no putting this fire out. The ref keeps ringing the bell, but nobody's hearing anything. These four are just focused on beating each other senseless, until one side just can't take anymore. Duncum is totally responsible for whatever might happen now. He could have played it straight, but no. Tried the shortcut, and blew the match for his team, and now they're catching a second beating from the Vandals that looks like it's even worse than the first one.
There's a Primetime. Catches a leg sweep from Ace Vandal, winds up out on the floor on the outside. All four on the outside now as Rothburn looks on helplessly. Head first into the apron goes Bobby Duncum. Primetime Bobby Mills with a clothesline on Jay. Jay gets a hold of him and a one-arm slam. Ace Vandal drives Primetime Bobby Mills into the ring post. Oh, look at, whoa, what's he gonna do? Oh, his head stuck between, oh no, oh man. A boot right to the head against the ring post. Primetime Bobby Mills might be badly hurt.
So let that be a lesson to the unholy trinity. Crime doesn't pay. Neither does a low blow. Neither does cheating, period. Wanton Jay and Vicious Ace Vandal wrapping this up. And oh, Primetime Bobby Mills, he looks like he might be seriously, he's going to have to wind up going to the doctor from this one.
The Vandal brothers, one more time, dealing out some vicious retribution as the unholy trinity gets vandalized. We'll be back with more Hotter Than July right after this.
Well, just a few nights ago at Snarl, American Power's new chief of protection made her debut against Ronda Rousey, picking herself up a win. Tonight, and this has never happened before, Sister Golden Hair appears in her second match and her first ever supercard, set to face another ladies legend star in Mickie James.
Well, that escalated quickly.
This next ladies division match, one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle from Nashville, Tennessee, here's Mickie James.
All right, Miss Mickie James made her last appearance on Rage about a month ago facing Ann Casey. But tonight, she'll be facing AP's new chief of security, Sister Golden Hair, in her first ever supercard in her second match, and that has never happened before. You are absolutely right, Wally.
I can explain that, Don. What happened is that Jody Vorek was supposed to be here tonight, but she's a little bit under the weather, and I needed to fill in a spot. So here's Mickie James and Sister Golden Hair. I figured, what the hell?
Well, Mickie James lost that match with Casey last month, and Sister Golden Hair won her first against Ronda Rousey. It's anyone's guess as to who's going home with the W on their books.
And her opponent from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, American Power's bodyguard, Sister Golden Hair.
And here's a little something. SGH got a lot of attention in her debut at Snarl the other night. Seems a lot of fans were taken in by her looks, and no kidding, she is definitely a looker, but she can wrestle too. Even after being hurt by Ronda Rousey, with the ref stopping the match momentarily, don't you know, she picked herself up, finished the match, and beat Ronda. I heard Scott Bell, Ronda's manager, is still having kittens about it.
Having kittens? He's still crapping polar bears.
Well, American Power certainly wouldn't rely on Sister Golden Hair for security if she were incompetent. And she certainly is not incompetent.
It's not everybody that gets to participate in the supercard in their second match.
Well, no matter what might happen, she will almost certainly be remembered for that. This should prove to be an interesting matchup. Walt Rothburn sounds the bell, and here we go. A fireman's carry from Mickie James. Mickie misses with the kick, counters with the left. Sister Golden Hair whips her out over onto the apron. And there's a standing dropkick that puts Mickie James on the floor. Sister Golden Hair inviting her right back into the ring so she can do it again. In fact, she's changed her mind and going outside after her. They lock up, they tussle. Sister Golden Hair shoves her back. Mickie James counters. A kick to the midsection from Sister Golden Hair as both ladies make their way back inside the ring. Mickie James with a snap suplex on Sister Golden Hair, followed up with a kick to the back. SGH slammed face first into the canvas. Mickie James rounded up, elbow to the midsection. Sister Golden Hair misses with the dropkick. Mickie James tags her with a shot to the back. Whips her towards the far corner, charges, and there's a nice monkey toss, well executed by Mickie James. Mickie James rounds up Sister Golden Hair, who counters with an elbow, quickly back up on her feet, charges. Whoa! A beautiful tilt-a-whirl. Nicely done. Sister Golden Hair with a drop kick to the back of the head of Mickie James. Mickie James winds her up into a Russian leg sweep. Followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Mickie James winding up the arm on SGH, snaps it. Mickie James covers one, but barely even a one. Sister Golden Hair gathered back up to a standing position, puts the brakes on Mickie James, takes her down to the canvas, and into a single leg crab. Mickie James trying to make her way to the ropes. No, she can't do it. Has to find her way out, and she certainly does. Swings and misses with the kick. Sister Golden Hair misses with her move. She's whipped to the far corner. Mickie James just a step too late. Whipped to the corner herself. Sister Golden Hair misses with the rising knee. Mickie James has her up over the shoulders in the fireman's carry. Hangs her up off the top rope. Mickie James quickly hustling her way to the top turnbuckle here. And here we go. Whoa, misses with the crossbody. Catches a kick from SGH. Is dragged towards center. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. One. And just about a one. Mickie James finding her way out of the pin. Catches a kick to the back from Sister Golden Hair. Oh, Luke does press on a series of mounted punches from Mickie James. Mickie James follows it up with stomps to the legs of Sister Golden Hair. Rounds her up again. Again, Sister Golden Hair puts on the brakes, delivers the kick. Mickie James counters with a right. Sister Golden Hair whipped to the corner. Mickie James situating her up on the top turnbuckle into a tree of woe here. Follows it up with a kick or two to the chest. Follows up with a stomp to the midsection. Mickie James with the momentum on her side at the present time. Perhaps trash talking Sister Golden Hair just a little bit. SGH whips her to the far corner. Sets her up on the top turnbuckle. Mickie James quickly counters, finds her way out of trouble. Awful. That was awful. Just slapjacked into the turnbuckles in the far corner by Mickie James. An arm drag from Sister Golden Hair. A forearm to the back of the head. Mickie James gets a hold of SGH, whips her to the ropes. Slapjack face first into the canvas. As Mickie James again going for a cover. One, two, and just barely a two. Mickie James strategizing here. But Sister Golden Hair with a sudden drop toe hold to Mickie James. Mickie being rounded up, she counters with an elbow to Sister Golden Hair. They lock up, they tussle. Shoved back, a clothesline from SGH. SGH rounds up Mickie James into the belly-to-belly suplex. The very move she beat Ronda Rousey with. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. One, two. Oh, a near fall. But Mickie James powering her way out of the pin. Sister Golden Hair gets the leg swept by Mickie James. Mickie James rounds her up again. Whoa, a spin kick as Mickie covers again. One, two, another near fall. And both these ladies certainly giving it their all here. Mickie James makes her way to the top turnbuckle again, and here we go. Oh, catches a couple of knees. Nice thinking from Sister Golden Hair. Whip to the corner goes Mickie James. SGH misses with the drop kick, catches the right. Mickie James counters again. A kick to the midsection. Winds her up here. And oh, there's that horrible DDT, and there's a cover and a hook of the leg. One, two, three. Oh, Mickie James picking up the win here by pinfall over Sister Golden Hair. Let's get the official time.
The time of the fall, 5 minutes and 39 seconds, and your winner, Mickie James.
You already know the deal, gang. The outcomes around here can often be hard to predict. Naturally, I was kinda leaning towards SGH, maybe copping a second one here, but it seems Mickie James was just a little bit faster on the draw in this one. If I were Sister Golden Hair, I wouldn't be too discouraged. After all, it says a lot that she got to be part of a supercard so quickly. Y'all already know, it's nice to just be invited to the dance. I'm sure SGH will pick herself up and dust herself off, and be right back at it in no time. Can't win 'em all, Honeys.
She might not have appeared at all if Jody Boric wasn't feeling unwell. And hey, she took a gamble, and those don't always go our way. I'm sure she'd be training more with Patty Powers and Liberty Bell Danielle, and who knows, she'd probably pick up a win in her next one. She didn't do badly or anything, just that Mickie James had it a little more on the ball this time.
I'm sure she'll recover from this. No big deal.
Well, all right, Mickie James picking up an upset win over Sister Golden Hair, and we'll be right back with more Hotter Than July right after the break.
As HDJ continues, we close out the first hour with the most unusual tag team match, highlighting Afa and Sika, the legendary Wild Samoans, in a non-title match with the Legends TV champs, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot, and with no time limit.
The following non-title tag team match, one fall with no time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by manager Captain Lou Albano from the island of Samoa at a combined weight of 623 pounds. Here are Afa and Sika, the Wild Samoans.
The outrageous, outspoken, and obnoxious Captain Louis Albano leading Afa and Sika into battle here against Sergeant the Patriot. Myron, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
It's easy. Albano wanted a title shot for the Samoans. Sergeant the Patriot said, you want one, you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to earn it in a tag team match with no time limit. Let's see how long you can go.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 545 pounds, they're the RWL Legends Television Champions, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot.
A test of stamina and endurance that only a Marine drill instructor could have devised. Pretty sure the no time limit stipulation had to be the brainchild of Sergeant Slaughter.
You got it in one, Wally. They said if you can beat us with no time limit, no matter how long it takes, you've earned the title shot. Well, I'm sure Sergeant the Patriot can handle it. I'm thinking the Samoans can too. We're just gonna have to wait and see who comes out on top after this one.
Since they took the Legends TV tag belts from Jerry Lawler and Harley Race, they've been totally calling the shots. Because hey, they can. Still, if they drop this one, then the Samoans are almost guaranteed a title shot. But I don't see anything other than one fact. This one can't, and won't, end in any time limit draw.
Sure won't, Christy. Sika and Sergeant Slaughter starting us off as the bell sounds. Sergeant Slaughter gets a hold of Sika, whips him to the far corner. A running splash from Sergeant Slaughter, followed up with a stomp to the chest. Sika brought out of the corner the hard way by Sergeant Slaughter, followed up with another kick, and here comes the Patriot on the tag. The team already starting to tag early and often as the Patriot makes his way to the top turnbuckle. Oh, here we go. Cross body, and here's a pin. 1, 2, oh, just a 2. But a 2 count that early on could be a sign of things to come. The Patriot rears back, delivers a hard shot to the midsection. Sika whipped to the ropes. Beautifully executed hip toss from the Patriot. The Patriot rounds Sika up to a standing position again, and hauls back with a hard right that takes him down the mat. Oh, a throat chop from Sika as he escorts the Patriot to the Samoans' corner. Here comes Samoan Afa on the tag, and a double team from the Samoans. Oh, double knees to the midsection for the Patriot. Afa gathers him up to a standing position, a throat chop, all right, another throat chop. The Patriot drops again. Afa beating the head of the Patriot against the counter. And here's a shoulder claw. And over the course of time, that will wear you down. The Patriot realizes this, trying to get to a standing position here. Tags him with a hard right to the gut, a hard right to the head. Winds it up, and boom, whoa, what an uppercut. Down goes Samoan Afa. The Patriot covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2. Just the 2, a near fall fairly early on. And this no time limit matchup. The Patriot drives a knee into the head of Afa, delivers a kick to the back. Afa back on his feet. The Patriot gets a hold of him by the scruff of the neck, slams his head into his team's corner's turnbuckle. Here comes Sergeant Slaughter on the tag. with a kick to the ribs to Samoan Afa. Sarge takes over, headlock takedown. And Sarge squeezing for all he's worth. Trying to wear down Afa. Afa shoves him away. Sergeant Slaughter rounds him up again, locks him up. Afa whip to the ropes. And a beautiful hip toss from the Sarge as well. Captain Lou Albano looking a bit concerned as Sarge rolls an elbow into the back of Samoan Afa. Afa with a sweep of the leg takes the Sarge down. Locks him up. Escorts him towards the Samoan's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle. Here comes Samoan Sika, and here comes another double team. And one more. Double knees to the midsection, this time for Sergeant Slaughter. Sika. Woohoo! Gets the brakes put on by the Sarge. Swings and misses. Sarge rounds him up into an atomic drop, and that's going to hurt his keister. Hard shot to the midsection from Sika. Sika whips the Sarge towards the far corner. A running splash takes Sergeant Slaughter down to the mat. Sika gathers him up. Has him by the throat. This is not going to be good for Sergeant Slaughter. Oh, what a choke slam. A choke slam and a half from Samoan Afa. Afa locks him up. Takes him towards the Samoan's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes the Sarge. Here comes Sika on the tag. And whoa, look at this. A series of shots. And Sika comes charging. A kick to the face. And a running splash from Afa. Sergeant Slaughter catching punishment from all sides here. An elbow to the leg of Sergeant Slaughter. Sika shoved away by the Sarge, back up on his feet, gets a hold of him. Sika counters with elbows to the midsection of Sergeant Slaughter. A running charge and a quick takedown. As Samoan Sika gathers him up again. Escorts him towards his team's corner, head first into the turnbuckle. And here comes Afa. Look at this. Whoa! Boot right to the face. With that bare foot. A stomp to the back. A kick to the leg. Sergeant Slaughter in trouble here. Here's a cover. One. But barely just a one. Afa makes his way all the way up to the top turnbuckle in the far corner. The Patriot trying to put on the brakes here. Succeeds in doing so. Down goes Afa. Sergeant Slaughter still collecting himself. Afa gets a hold of him. Has him up over the shoulders. Oh, this ain't going to be good. Oh, what a nasty slam from Samoan Afa. Sergeant Slaughter with a hot tag to the Patriot. And here he comes. Shoulder tackle. Takes Afa down on the mat. Followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Afa slams him face down into the canvas by his arm. Gathers the Patriot up again. The Patriot being escorted to the Samoan's corner, slammed into the buckle. And here comes Sika. Again, a series of shots from Afa as Sika charges. A kick to the face and a running splash from Afa before he leaves. Turning it over to Sika for his team. A kick to the leg for the Patriot. Here's another cover. One. And barely just a one. The Patriot finding his way out of that one pretty quickly. Sika rebounds off the rope. A diving headbutt. Oh, the Samoans. Absolutely wild as true. The Patriot whips Sika to the ropes. Hard shot to the midsection. Down goes Sika. The Patriot gouging the face of the Samoan. When in Rome, do as the Romans do, I suppose. Here comes Sergeant Slaughter. Sika rounded up in a front cradle by Sergeant Slaughter. His back driven into the turnbuckle and he spun out towards center ring. Sarge drives a knee into Sika's head. Captain Lou Albano looking a little bit concerned. A driving knee from Sergeant Slaughter to the head of Sika. And Sergeant Slaughter really beginning to go to work. Samoan Sika locks him up. Escorts him towards the corner. Head first into the turnbuckle. Here comes the Patriot, and here comes a double team. The Patriot on the middle rope. Double axe handle finds the mark on the arm. Sika locks up the Patriot. Whips him towards the ropes. A head-on collision. And up into a bear hug. And the Patriot being squeezed here. The Patriot Driving elbows into the head and a double ear clap finally backs off the Samoan. There's a running shoulder tackle. The Patriot gathers up Sika again. Locks him up. And there's that hard right one more time. Quickly going for another cover. One. But just barely a one. It's going to take a lot more than that to wear down the Wild Samoans. Oh, what a spine buster from the Patriot. The Patriot, potentially smelling blood in the water here, takes him down to the canvas. Sika being set up here into a sharpshooter. And whoa, Afa breaks it up. Sika back on his feet, charges, catches a hip toss from the Patriot. Sika rolls out, tries to roll out, but the Patriot right there to put a stop to it, winds up the arm, snaps it, snapping the left arm of Samoan Sika. The Patriot gathers him up again, locks him up, elbows to the midsection from the Wild Samoan to the Patriot. Sika catches a kick from the Patriot. Sika counters with a knee to the midsection. Again, escorting the Patriot to his team's corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Here comes Afa. And one more time, we're going to see this one again. A series of shots from Afa and Sika. A running splash takes the Patriot down to the mat. And Samoan Sika makes his way to the top turnbuckle, waiting for the Patriot to stand himself up. And here we go, double axe handle right across the head of the Patriot. And here's a cover with a hook of the leg. 1, 2. The Patriot quickly getting up that right shoulder. A headbutt from Afa. Afa rounds him up again into the bear headbutt. Oh, no you don't. The Patriot collides with Afa. Kick to the midsection. Afa being escorted to the opposing team's corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Here comes the Sarge. And here comes another double team. A kick to the ribs from Sergeant Slaughter. A running clothesline from the Sarge. Gathers Afa back up again, winds up the arm. Oh, here we go, Cobra clutch time. And this could be it right here. Sergeant Slaughter with the Cobra clutch. Sika there to make the save. Afa catches a stomp to the back from the Sarge. A kick to the leg. As Sergeant Slaughter makes his way out and turns it over to the Patriot. The Patriot moves in, catches a kick to the head. Gets wrapped up. Sika whips him over the top rope out onto the floor on the bad side of town. The Patriot quickly taking down Afa, winds it up. Oh, hard right takes Sika down. Both Afa and Sika both laid out. The Patriot winds up the arm on Afa, snaps it. Sika laid out from the Patriot's move. The Patriot rolls Afa back inside the ring. And here he comes, the Patriot. Deciding he's had enough, he's going to turn it over to the Sarge on the tag. Afa locks up the Sarge, whips him to the ropes, back body drop. Afa with a hard shot to the side of the head of Sergeant Slaughter. Afa rounds him up again. The Samoan has him up. Oh, what a nasty salute. His back bent like a bow. Afa locks up the Sarge, got him by the throat, counters with a kick. Sergeant Slaughter charges. The brakes put on by Afa, a throat chop again. A kick to the midsection from the Sarge. They lock up. Sergeant Slaughter has him up. Whoa! What a nasty spinning slam right there. Cover, but no. Sika right there to break it up. The Patriot moves in and moves right back out again. Sergeant Slaughter gathers up. Afa, oh, hard shot, a chop to the throat. Afa pitches him out center ring. Oh, this is not going to be good. Off the middle rope, a diving headbutt right into the midsection of Sergeant Slaughter. And now Lou Albano rallying the troops here from ringside. Hit first into the turnbuckle goes the Sarge. And here comes Sika on the tag. All the way. Oh, what a nasty slam. And here's a pin. Referee Willie Johnson doesn't even get a chance to make the count as the Patriot comes in to break up the pin. A diving headbutt from Sika. And he is definitely fired up. A rebound off the ropes, misses with another attempt as Sarge gets out of the way. Sergeant Slaughter charges, and knee to the midsection, but hardly has any effect at all. Sarge whipped to the ropes, an elbow, and Sika takes him down. Sika flips the Sarge over. Winds him up into a leg submission here. Oh, stretching the knees and the ligaments of Sergeant Slaughter. As Lou Albano looks on, Sika back to a standing position before Sergeant Slaughter rounds him up, locks him up, and that's Samoan headbutt. Sika with a kick to the leg of the Sarge. Sarge struggling to get to a standing position, but it is no use. Sika with his foot right in the throat of the Sarge as Alpha cheers on his brother. A kick to the leg. And here comes Alpha again on the tag. Sergeant Slaughter in some serious pain at this point. Counters with a hard shot to the midsection, locks up Alpha. Escorts him towards his team's corner, slams his head into the turnbuckle. Quick counter, but a cheap shot from the Patriot. Sergeant Slaughter going to take advantage of that. Slams his head back into the turnbuckle again, tags in the Patriot, and here we go. From the middle rope, another double axe handle across the arm from the Patriot. Hard right, spins Alpha around. And look at this, a trap squeeze, blocking the flow of blood to the brain. And Samoan Alpha sinking fast here. Down he goes. The Patriot covers, hooks the leg, but a little too close to the Samoan's corner for Sika to break up the pin. The Patriot, stalking Alpha, takes him down, sets it up again. He's going for the sharpshooter a second time here. But again, probably too close. Look at this, Alpha powering out of the submission. That pit power of, whoa, what a heel kick. As Sika comes in on the tag. The Patriot stands center ring waiting for him, charges. Ooh, kitchen sink knee to the gut. Sika gathered up by the Patriot. A driving knee right into the head of Sika. Off gouge of the face. Oh, the Patriot knows what he's got to do here. Clubbing blow to the chest. Takes Sika down again. The Patriot, firmly in control at the present time, takes himself all the way up to the top turnbuckle. Here we go, diving elbow across the chest of Samoan Sika. Struggling to get to a standing position. The Patriot slams his face into the canvas again. The Patriot winds up the arm and snaps it. The Patriot wisely keeping the Samoan on his side of the ring. Close to Sergeant Slaughter, a kick to the back. The Patriot moves back in. Gathers Sika up, locks him up. Hard right to the face, and down he goes. The Patriot gathers him up one more time here. Takes him to the corner, smashes his head into the turnbuckle. Sergeant Slaughter comes in on the tag. And another tag kick to the ribs as Sergeant Slaughter takes control for his team. Locks up Samoan Sika, slams this back into the turnbuckle, tosses him towards the middle of the ring. Here comes the Patriot again, the team working very efficiently. The Legends TV Tag Champions firmly in control here, but here comes a hot tag to Samoan Alpha. Charges, whoa, vicious takedown from Samoan Alpha. The Patriot gathered back up again, locked up into a front cradle, escorted towards the ropes. He's got him up, hangs him up on the top rope by his throat. Samoan Alpha with a vicious headbutt. Takes the Patriot down to the mat again as Alpha slowly makes his way to the top turnbuckle. And here's a diving headbutt. Oh, and here's a cover. This could be bad. One. Only just the one. The Patriot quickly getting that shoulder up. A charge from the Samoan, but no go, quickly taken down by the Patriot as he steps out and tags in the Sarge. Sergeant Slaughter moves in, misses with his charge, gets caught from behind. Alpha whips him to the far corner. Sergeant Slaughter looking a little bit fatigued here. Gets out of the corner, locks up. Alpha whip to the corner. A running splash takes him down. And here's an assisted alley-oop out of the corner from Sergeant Slaughter. Misses with the stomp. Alpha gets a hold of him. Has him, but whoa, he is just strangling Sergeant Slaughter. He just throttled him. I mean, absolutely throttled it. Sarge counters with an elbow. A running shoulder takes Alpha down to the mat. Sergeant Slaughter drives the Samoan towards center ring. Follows up with a stomp to the midsection. Alpha slips through the backboard, delivers a kick to the knee, and a running drop kick that doesn't connect, but a clothesline to the back of the head from Sarge certainly does. Sergeant Slaughter rallying the fans here in Phoenix. A charge. Sergeant Slaughter wants it up. Boom! Oh man, what a shot. Sika rounded up by Sergeant Slaughter, counters with a knee. Sika locks him up, has him up over the shoulders, and there's the Samoan drop. Sergeant Slaughter out there on the apron, slowly making his way back to a standing position. Sika nails him with a right and out to the floor. He goes, he's going to turn his attention to the Patriot. Tags him with a hard right. Another. And brings him into the ring the hard way as Samoan Aho lines up Sergeant Slaughter. Gets him back inside the ring. The Patriot laid out as Sika makes his way to the top turnbuckle, and here's the diving headbutt on the Patriot. Sergeant Slaughter, the leader man in the ring, walks up. Sika's got him up. And, oh, what a nasty one-arm slam. The Patriot beating it out of town. Sika with another Samoan drop on Sergeant Slaughter to the delight of Captain Lou Albano. Here's a cover of the Patriot right there to break it up before even the count of one. Sika gathers up Sarge. Sarge with a quick uppercut surprises the Samoan. Escorts him towards the corner. Smashes his head into the buckle. Here comes the Patriot again. The Legends TV Tag Champs, a well-oiled machine here. Up over a back body drop for Sika as the Patriot assumes command of this matchup. Takes himself outside, however briefly, for whatever reason. Brings himself back inside. Rounds up Sika, delivers a kick to the leg. The Patriot gathers the Samoan up again. Locks him up. Escorts him towards his team's corner one more time. Another smash into the turnbuckle as Sergeant Slaughter is tagged in again. The Samoan going for a ride here. Another back body drop as Sergeant Slaughter takes over for his team. Sarge moves in, catches a hard shot to the midsection. Gets locked up. Whip to the rope. Oh, what a nasty spinning elbow to the face of the Sergeant. Oh. Sika escorts Sarge to the Samoan corner. And here comes Alpha on the tag. Uh-oh. A foot right in the face of Sergeant Slaughter. The Samoan rebounds off the ropes. Diving headbutt. Bizarre. Samoan Alpha drives a knee into the head of Sergeant Slaughter. Sarge in big time trouble here as the Samoan makes his way to the pool. The Patriot saving the day here. Shoves him off the top turnbuckle. Sarge spins him around with a right. Winds him up. Cobra clutch again. Sarge has got the Cobra clutch locked in center ring. Alpha tagging out. This is it. It is all over. Sarge and the Patriot winning this no time limit match by submission.
The time of the fall, 20 minutes and 45 seconds. Your winners, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot.
Guess Sergeant Slaughter knew what he was doing. And that really was a battle of endurance. Tons of near falls for both sides, and yeah, Alpha and Sika did manage to do some damage. Sarge's face tells that story, but they couldn't get the job done in the end, and I'm thinking old Sarge knew it all the time. He and the Patriot may not have cruised to a win, but it's still all theirs. Wow. Terrific match, even without the belts being up for grabs.
Most definitely true, Christy. Well, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot picking up a win over the Samoans in a no-time limit tag team match. That concludes the first hour of Hotter Than July. We'll be back with the second hour right after this brief intermission.